After a lot of hard work, Kortex AI V1 is here, and you can now chat with your documents, sources, highlights, and now YouTube videos inside your workspace. Now, if you are a previous Kortex user, you know that the chats used to be captures. So as an example, if we go into here, you can still capture ideas and to a specific document. Like if I'm writing a newsletter on how to learn 10x faster, I can put that here, or I can press plus to connect it with it not being inline, and then I can write to that specific document and filter it accordingly. So if I go and I type something like start with what you know, that's great. But then if I toggle Kai, what I can do here, so I'm taking notes for a newsletter, I have these all in one place, like texting myself, then I can just ask, summarize what's in this chat, and it'll tell me, okay, we have the newsletter topic, we have talking points so far. Do I want to build on top of that? And I'll show you a cool way that we're going to do that soon with writing a newsletter. Now, the main thing we built first inside of Kortex is just the ability to handle large amounts of information. So large documents, long YouTube videos, like 3-hour podcasts and more. So you can tie things together in a very unique way that you can't really do inside of other software, especially when having all of your document sources, everything else in one place, right? That's what a lot of AI is missing, is you. And now even better with the desktop app, you can have, we had a lot of praise over the floating capture and floating documents, but if I push Option or Alt C, I can pop open a floating chats pane. So I can talk with AI from anywhere and use it as a study tool or a research tool. So if I'm writing something or just want to research this video, the end of programming as we know it, or we can find something more specific like Naval and go here, Naval, go to his videos, find the Deutsch files 3, copy that, share, copy. And then if we go to the floating chats, I can just pop this in here now like this. And you can see it automatically starts to add the source. And if I press enter, it creates a new chat, adds the source here, and it says, how can I help you with this source? Oh, I accidentally toggled off Kai. So summarize this video in 5 key points. And it breaks everything down that's inside of the video in 5 key points. But now I can also open floating documents. And if I have something like a prompt library from things that I've studied over time, I can use things like generate content ideas, headline ideas. A link to this is in the description if you want a place to start. I would recommend trying the discipline coach with Jocko, and then you can feed it your goals or your planning that you do in Kortex to get more clarity on what to do. Now, another thing with this, why this is so important for Kortex, is that our entire vision has been based around being able to capture anything from anywhere. So now with YouTube videos, what's going to come next is tweets. Actually, pretty soon we have it built out, and PDFs. You can already have a PDF in your library, but being able to just pull one in and immediately reference it, and being anywhere on your computer and pressing a keyboard shortcut to capture that source so that you have it ready to access and open and have transcriptions for everything that you can view all while you're writing or note taking or doing whatever. So here's a few ways that you can get started with Kai, just so you can go into Kortex and have something to do. And really pay attention when we get more complex with this and we weave multiple long documents together to create something that is kind of difficult to create in other apps. So we'll close out of these, Option D, Option C, Option K to open full Kortex. And now we're going to go back and we're just going to potentially create a new chat here. Now, one prompt that I love is the strategic advisor prompt that I found from Apollinator on Twitter. So if you ever find prompts, just save them to a document in Kortex and then you can easily copy and paste them. Or if I wanted to, I could technically reference this document plus prompt library, connect to it, and then just be like, use the strategic advisor prompt to guide me through this. But we're going to copy the entire prompt and paste it in here. And in a nutshell, it says, you have an IQ of 180. You're brutally honest and direct. You built multiple billion-dollar companies. Your mission is to identify the critical gaps holding me back, so on and so forth. So it says, for each response, start with the hard truth I need to hear, follow with specific actionable steps, and so on. So it's ready. Let's cut to the BS. What do I need to do? I need to write my newsletter for this week. And if you've used the previous simple life reset that we've talked about, where you audit your day and you write out your vision and what you don't want out of life, and then you plan your life, and then you execute each week after week. If you just feed this, if I name this something different and I said, show me what my blind spots are from at simple life reset. And then if you fill that out, then it will give you clarity and guidance on how to improve. So that's one use case, is just using Kai as a way to actually hold you accountable for your goals. But that's just the surface. Another use case for AI in general, especially when you can open the floating chat with just option C, is to just ask it things whenever you're stuck. If you're writing a newsletter, if you are writing notes, if you are using Photoshop and you don't know how to do something in Photoshop, just open up Kai, option C, and type, okay, how do I make a selection in Photoshop? And it will give you options. And then you overcome the problem faster so that you can make progress faster. The same thing goes for writing. If I'm writing that newsletter on how to learn 10 times faster, and I don't know, I have an idea for the Zeigarnik effect, but I don't have enough information on it, I can just search up what is the Zeigarnik effect, and it gives me detailed breakdown that I can then use to overcome my writer's block. Or if I don't know how to start a newsletter, literally just type, how do I start a newsletter? And then you can start. Now, another use case, if we go back to the prompt library, is the study guide, which I'm a big fan of. So if you want to learn a new topic, a good way to learn it is to ask Kai to act as your skill tutor on a specific topic. And I'll pop this in here, and then I'll tell it I want to master storytelling. And what it'll do is it'll give me a breakdown of exactly what to learn, how fast. It will give me YouTube videos. It will give me phases in which to learn in. And I also included in here to give 3 to 5 complementary interests, so you can even learn when you're bored of learning by pursuing your curiosity. So if you're a student or just someone who learns skills, then use this. Now, this is where things start to get interesting. I created a document, how to write tweets, and it is pretty much a prompt. It's a long prompt that explains exactly how I personally write tweets. So it has all of these little details. It has examples inside of it. So if you write a guide for yourself on how to do something, then I can go into a chat and I can say, okay, use at how to write tweets to write 15 tweets, and use, let's actually go with a source this time. So, and use at Flow, the book by Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, for the tweet ideas. So as it does that, if we look at the library, we can see here that it is going to pull ideas from my highlights that have pulled in from Kindle and anywhere else that I highlight from. But for this book, I highlighted on Kindle and imported from Readwise, and you can see it just pops these in here. Now, take it a step further. So we combined 2 documents there, right? One that was a system prompt, and then one that was like, use these as ideas. And now if I go to my weekly post template, and we talked about this in a previous video, go watch that video for this template, but it's just a template, right? Where you write posts. So if you need post ideas, you can ask Kai to give them to you from a specific thing. So if I write a newsletter each week, it's kind of hard to pull social media post ideas from that just as it's written. So I like to ask AI to give me tweets about it so that I can use those as starting points for ideas, because AI writing in general still isn't the best at doing it all for you, nor should you want it to do it all for you, but it is very good as a mental or creative sparring partner. Now, I also created a document called How to Write a Newsletter, and it has exactly how I personally write my newsletters, and those are very in-depth, so I have a lot of information here on how to structure the outline and everything. But if I just come in here, and you're good at writing prompts, that's the prerequisite, right? Is, okay, let's add plus how to write a newsletter, and just say I want to write a newsletter. And I have instructions on this prompt for it to guide me on what to do. So the first thing it asks is, okay, what's your target audience? So I say my target audience is 20-year-olds who feel lost, my past self. And then it says, okay, here's 10 pain points, 10 desires, and 10 topic ideas based on headlines that have previously done well for me. And then I say, okay, proceed with topic 7. And then it fills out the outline for me. And I can use that in my own newsletter template if I want to. Again, we have a video on that on the channel of how to write weekly newsletters. But if I go here, I have my guided newsletter template. I can brainstorm topic ideas with Kai. Whenever you're filling something out, you can have a template inside of here built out with elements and then ask Kai and brainstorm with him to get that filled out. And then you can open all of these. If I open another, and let's just say this is a newsletter draft, and I'm writing here just to have a draft, then I can open my template or my outline right here as well and have all of my information here. I can resize these. I can open up specific sources if I need to get information from those, or I can just ask Kai. So now if we go back to the prompts that we had previously, there's headline ones in here, but there's content editing and feedback. So let's take this prompt, act as a detail-oriented copy editor for reference. And then I have one of my previous newsletters here that I wrote. And then if I just close out of this and this, get back to Kai, go here, paste this, and then my reference will be at newsletter, how to learn 10x faster than anyone. And then it'll provide me detailed information. This is already written, right? This is the draft. Now I can have it go through and just give me structured advice on how to improve it. So it's asking here, shall I proceed? Yes, proceed. And then it'll just go through and give me suggestions to improve it. Like, that's pretty cool. So again, I want you to think of Kai or AI in general. You can use whatever you want, but think of it as your creative sparring partner, right? A tool to help you sharpen your thinking, not outsource your thinking to it or replace your thinking. And it's really up to your imagination how powerful it gets with the documents or YouTube videos or sources or whatever it is that you use to enhance it. Now, as mentioned, this is Kortex AI V1. Right? This is, to us, kind of underwhelming. Even though it's very powerful, there's so much more that we need and want to do, like writing assistance. We want to be the cursor for writing. Cursor is a programming tool that kind of helps you write code. We want it to help you write and be able to edit specific lines and go for grammar, brevity, all of these different things like the Hemingway editor and Cursor combined. We also want to add in all models. We want to add in Claude. We want to add in Grok. We want to add in ChatGPT and all of these other things so we can keep up with the latest models and allow you to choose the model you want to use for the task you want to use it for. And as we redesign the library, we'll have the global capture. So being able to capture any link from anywhere on your computer, pull in the transcript, have it all in one place, and auto connections and tags. So you pay even less attention to organization so you can focus on what matters, which is the creativity. And a last one is the neural search. So as you're writing, it will surface and search for relevant ideas that you can use to pull into your writing that you have in your notes, sources, etc. So try out Kai, see if you can do some cool things with it. If you do cool things with it, then share it with us in the Discord. You can find the link to that in the description or go to discord.gg/Kortex. Tell us about it. Let us know how you like it. And Kai will only get better, especially if you share with us what works for you so that we can implement that into the app and potentially give you credit. We want to find a way to do that if we do incorporate users' AI prompts. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. There's going to be many more tutorials coming, so subscribe to the channel and watch the previous ones on post writing and newsletter writing. Thank you again for using Kortex.